Once upon a time, in a quiet little village, there lived an old cobbler named Grandpa Joe. He was well loved by everyone. Grandpa Joe had a small workshop where he mended shoes, and children loved visiting him after school, not just for his stories but for the sweets he kept in a big jar. Among those children was a boy named Sam. Sam was curious and bright, but he often got into trouble because he didn't like to listen. He believed he always knew best and rarely paid attention to advice from others. One sunny afternoon, as the school bell rang, Sam rushed to Grandpa Joe's workshop. "Grandpa Joe, guess what? We're having a kite competition tomorrow, and I'm going to win," Sam said excitedly. Grandpa Joe smiled. "That's wonderful, Sam. But have you built a strong kite yet?" Sam waved his hand dismissively. "I know how to make the best kite. It'll fly higher than anyone else's." Grandpa Joe nodded thoughtfully and said, "A good kite needs a sturdy frame and strong string. If you rush, it might not last in the wind." Sam barely listened. That evening, he hurriedly put together his kite using thin sticks and a flimsy string he found lying around. "This will work just fine," he said to himself. The next day, the entire village gathered at the field for the kite competition. Colorful kites filled the sky as the children laughed and cheered. Sam launched his kite with all his might, and it soared high into the sky. But as the wind grew stronger, Sam's kite began to wobble. The thin sticks started to bend, and the weak string snapped. The kite tumbled to the ground, leaving Sam standing there, embarrassed and disappointed. Grandpa Joe, who had been watching from the sidelines, walked over to Sam. "It looks like the wind taught you a lesson today," he said gently. Sam hung his head. "I should have listened to you, Grandpa Joe. My kite wasn't strong enough." Grandpa Joe placed a comforting hand on Sam's shoulder. "Mistakes are our best teachers, Sam. Now, what will you do differently next time?" Sam thought for a moment. "I'll take my time to make a stronger kite. And I'll ask for help if I need it." Grandpa Joe smiled. "That's the spirit, my boy. Remember, it's not about winning. It's about doing your best and learning along the way." The following week, Sam worked carefully on a new kite. He used strong bamboo sticks and a sturdy string, just as Grandpa Joe had suggested. When the next competition came, Sam's kite soared higher than anyone's, and it didn't come down until the wind stopped blowing. As the villagers cheered, Grandpa Joe winked at Sam. "Looks like you've mastered not just kite making but also the art of patience and listening." Sam beamed with pride, knowing he had learned a lesson he'd never forget.